Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Τα προγράμματα μας προσφέρονται σε πολλές γλώσσες. Παρακαλούμε δείτε suprememastertv.com/schedule.
I would highly suggest for people traveling slowly. You know, we are in a really fast world and everyone wants a fast experience and a fast travel, and would be much less harmful for our world if people started traveling less places but slowly, and maybe using a train, a bicycle.
Ecotourism, the sustainable way to travel, part 2 of 3. Continue watching to find out more.
Hush Calypsis means welcome in Uzbek. I'm Otabek. The people of Uzbekistan send lots of love to your gentle souls. Gracious viewers, welcome to part 2 of our 3-part series, Ecotourism, the sustainable way to travel. In part 1, we explored the issues that come with conventional travel and presented their solution, ecotourism. Today, we'll hear an interview with environmentalist and vegan athlete Sebastian Gutman on the subject of responsible travel. The modern ecotourism movement began in the 1970s and hasn't stopped since. The United Nations General Assembly declared 2017 the International Year of Sustainable Travel. In 2020, green travel was identified as one of the biggest trends in the travel industry. Sustainable travel, green travel, nature tourism, responsible travel, sustainable tourism, and ethical travel are all terms used to describe the rising trend and shared philosophy that is ecotourism. Ecotourism brings many benefits. On a personal level, it creates increased awareness of resource conservation and mindfulness of the waste produced through traveling. Sustainability values that can also be promoted at home in daily life. On a large scale, ecotourism supports the economics of local communities at travel destinations, creates jobs for local residents, empowers local communities to promote their indigenous cultures, promotes environmental sustainability, and conserves natural resources. Our special guest on today's program, Sebastian Gutman, is an environmentalist and vegan athlete from Germany who has chosen to use a zero-emissions form of travel with his self-made bamboo bicycle. A champion of sustainable travel, Mr. Gutman has traveled to approximately 30 countries over the past 2.5 years and plans to pause his bicycle tour during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, he will share his travel experiences and his thoughts on the importance of ecotourism.
Thank you first to having me here for this interview. I really appreciate it. Why I decided doing that, actually it was a dream for me to see the world and go around and exploring different nature, different cultures and see what's happening in our world. And how I get to this, to cycling, I was on first moment sure about the hitchhiking or I want to do it on a bicycle, but I saw some people who build bamboo bicycles or bamboo frames and I get really interested. And I said, hey, how would guys do that? And I like to build my own things, so I asked that and I asked the guys and I was like, oh my God, I want to build also my own bicycle. And I decided to build my bicycle and go on this journey. So I think it's really important now, traveling goes really cheap, so more people's traveling. And it's really good that people's traveling. I think when more people are able to travel, we have more peace in our world because people understand different cultures. But the other side of the coin is more people flying with airplanes around the world, and sometimes only for 2 or 3 days to the city. And that really messed up our world. Of also the CO2 we blow up in the air. It's not good for our environment. So unusual way to travel on my bicycle. So I'm traveling really slowly. It's not like most people's going, or most people using a car, train, airplanes to traveling. But when you want to say, okay, ecotourism, I would highly suggest for people traveling slowly. We are in a really fast world, and everyone want a fast experience and a fast travel, and you're the jet lag and spend a couple of days on the beach and go back. And would be much less harmful for our world. And the people starting traveling less places, but slowly. And maybe using a train, a bicycle. I mean, some people see walking. Okay, it's not everyone want to walk, but you also can using trains, or also going on a boat or a sailing boat. I also meet some people see sailing from one continent to the next one, and don't using airplanes. And sometimes just exploring your own environment around your own neighborhood, your own country. Sometimes you don't have to go so fast or so far away. Some people want to go in the opposite of the world, but hey, maybe just exploring more your own area. You have also probably some really beautiful area around your house.
We love the idea of traveling slowly too. Hidden gems can be found in your own neighborhood or country, or even a small village off the beaten path of a heavily crowded and commercialized location. Both are great ways to get the most out of your travel, while doing so in a respectful and low-impact manner. Wise viewers, we'll pause for a moment now to give thanks to Mother Nature, who provides us with everything we need. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Cheerful viewers, welcome back to our program. Sustainable volunteering is a great means of supporting local residents and giving back to the community you visit. Many programs and projects sponsored by local organizations are available to join. Do some research before your trip to make sure the organization you plan to work with is ethical and reputable, and collaborates with community members to ensure that the needs of both the environment and the people are served, while showing respect for the local culture. Ways to get involved include doing volunteer work with a local animal sanctuary, assisting with coastal wildlife conservation projects like habitat restoration, cleaning up the local area by removing trash, and volunteering with an urban farm. Planting trees has been Mr. Gutman's way of getting involved and giving back to the communities that have hosted him on his journeys.
First moment was just to travel on a bicycle, what I built on my own, a bamboo bicycle. But also I connect to the NGO, it's called Plant for Planet, and it's also based in close to Munich and Germany. And this NGO planting trees all over the world, and also support kids to planting trees, and also getting out planting trees and supporting why it's important to planting trees. And I get connected with this NGO, and I come up with this idea, okay, I want also to have a bigger purpose on this travel, maybe cycling around the world, support this message, and I plant trees along my way with the people I met, like my host, like you, or the people like I meet, or planting a tree in a backyard, or some tree planting is going on from a city council where you want to plant trees in a park or so on, and I just help. And I think it's really important to plant trees for our world. We need more trees in our world. And also a tree is life. When you cut the tree, you cut the life. Many times, it was in Pakistan, India, also in different countries, Malaysia, Australia, or on Central America. I went to some schools and bring my message out, why it's so important to planting trees, why it's so important to maybe use a bicycle, to cycling to the school, and to see what also you can do it differently. It's not all times one way. I like to speak to the young kids because it's our next generation. And I think it's important to get the message to our next generation to understand what we have to do for our world and what we have to change. Because regular life right now, or most people have, we cannot live with anymore. We only have one planet. You know, we are blowing up CO2 in our air, with the cars or the industry or what else, or also eating meat. And we have to think it differently right now. Because I want to give my own kids or grandchildren, I want to give a world where you also can live. And now it's also a time we have to change many things. Instead of thinking of earning money or economy, and to think it differently.
We agree, Mr. Government. Now is the time to make changes to save our world. Are you ready to embark on a trip? On our next forward-thinking excursion, researchers from Purdue University in Indiana, USA, provide you with a set of tips to follow to make your journey more sustainable.
The idea of being conscious and mindful about what I'm doing when I'm traveling, still having a good time, but being conscious and mindful about what I'm doing. We call this the Travel Care Code, and the Travel Care Code is a set of 10 simple things that you can do when you're a traveler to help contribute to sustainability. And we're working with other universities and with marketing organizations. We're coming together and we're really trying to build a movement of people who are interested in being more responsible travelers.
I think it's very important for tourists to remember that they are visitors. And being a visitor, they have to be responsible.
We have to always remember that we do not own the resources that we are about to use. They belong to somebody else. I was born in a village and I have seen village life, and I have, while working in travel, I've seen how tourism has changed the lives in some of those rural areas.
I think by visiting these community-based tourism villages, we can actually provide them with so much more than just visiting a destination that is kind of commercial.
Thanks for sharing those guidelines, Purdue University faculty and students. Earth-loving viewers, we are honored to have you with us today. Please be sure to watch Part 3 of Ecotourism, the sustainable way to travel, on Saturday, November 7. Coming up next is Dr. Anita Krang, Vegan and the Animal Safe Movement, Part 1 of 3, right after noteworthy news. We wish that through heaven's immense blessings, the whole world will soon become vegan and environmentally conscious. Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/PE.